Oh, looks good.
Was you telling me if it looks stupid?
I mean, I don't know what stupid to you looks like. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Welcome to
Pancakes on a Wednesday.
It's now our little intro on accident.
On accidentally purpose, yeah.
On accident on purpose.
Same thing. Some things seem to work out
Yes,
the
sir.
way they should be.
Speaking of things that work out the way they should be.
Yeah,
That's what we're going to talk about today.
it is.
Yeah.
Put the mic a little closer.
Every episode.
I know.
It's
You have such
intrusive.
a soft... So put the screen closer to the mic. There you go.
better? Better.
Yeah, that's better right there.
Okay. I can leave it here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Anywho. So, today, we're talking about us. Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
We're good.
Yes. I think we're good.
So,
right?
yeah. What was it, the last one or the one before that? We were talking about our motto. Let me move my water.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was last time. Because we started getting into this and I got yelled at because
Yeah.
we got to keep it at a minute.
It
Or a
won't
minute,
stay
an
up.
hour.
We need to get a stand for it, but it was you, me, and us.
Yeah.
So, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
You. Then me, then us.
Then us. So we were going to talk about briefly the story before we met because I've had a couple friends that have talked about how, I don't know, kind of how they feel like they're at this end game and their life hasn't panned out the way that they want it to. They didn't meet who they wanted to, or maybe they're with who they want to be with, but life isn't turning out the way they had anticipated or expected it to. And our story happened pretty quickly.
Pretty quick, yeah.
Pretty quickly once we met, but I didn't meet Corey till I was 35 years old and 36, 35.
I don't know.
Anyways, I was,
35.
yeah.
16. It's 5 years ago.
Oh, 16. I was like,
So you just turned 35.
okay, yeah. So, and I was not previously married. From 15 to till meeting Corey, I had 3 relationships. Actually had 4, and 3 of them were just you feel like you could just throw them away. Like, what purpose did they serve? They were just so stupid, but they do serve a purpose. And if I had met Corey at 20, it wouldn't have mattered if he was my soulmate. If I had met Corey at 20, we would have gotten divorced. We would have fought. We would have gotten divorced. Oh my God. I would have done that with anybody because that just wasn't my paradigm. I was, I don't know, not trying to be a wife and have kids. I just wanted to travel. I just wanted to be in my trailer and travel.
Wild soul.
Wild soul. Ain't that the truth?
Even those first couple years, you were
Still wild.
Yeah.
Just a little more wild with you rather than...
Wild, ready to settle down rather than wild one trying to run.
Yeah. Not run from him. Just, I like
Just
traveling.
in general.
I like doing stuff. Anyway, so I was single for 5 years before even meeting Corey, and I wanted it that way, and I liked it that way. I was good single. I was happy. Nobody could fuck with my day or my whatever, and my flow was good. I was good. But life started to get increasingly difficult. I was a single mom, and my dad helped and my grandparents helped, but when you're a single parent, it's just hard no matter what. And my hard was I really wanted to be with my daughter a lot. And I would cry towards the end of working at the Hard Rock. I loved my Hard Rock family. I had a great time with them, but I'd cry every morning because I had to leave her with my dad, and I'd work the weekends at the Hard Rock, and I worked all day, so I didn't see her at night. She was with my dad for the whole weekend, And I would cry every time I left her. And it started to weigh on me so bad. And I got a job as a bartender because in Vegas you can make great money bartending. I barely did shit. They didn't even train me. I didn't even know what I was doing.
All
I
I
was
do
just,
is learn how to open a beer, and that was it.
yeah. Well, I did bike rallies, so I knew beer and simple drinks. But if somebody wanted something fancy, I was like, yeah, maybe not. Anyways, I just made great money by doing nothing. And, but I hated it. I worked in Satan's Lair. Don't say the name. I'm not going to throw it under the bus, but oh my gosh, it was so dark there. And everybody was on drugs and drunk all the time. Like it could be a
That's
Sunday
Vegas
morning.
in general.
Well, it is Vegas in general. But you have to admit where I worked was definitely
Yeah, those few times that I went in, it was
it's next level.
pretty sketch.
Awesome.
But I mean, what dive bar in Vegas isn't sketch?
Yeah, but this one was everyone knows.
It's
It
probably because
was-
you were on the inside, so you probably saw more. But
Yeah.
I venture to say that most.
Most of them are,
Most of
but
them are
this
the
one
same.
was. Everyone knows this specific one to be quite awesome. But it was across the street from my house, literally down the way. So it was close, great money, did nothing, but it was weighing on me. And I didn't go out and party with all them, and I guess I wasn't into the cocaine, so they gave my shifts away, and I was like, oh, because I don't go and spend all my money that I'm actually using for my rent and I don't know, take care of my daughter, put food on the table. So I was like, oh, maybe I should like do this with somebody. Maybe life isn't meant to be done alone. And I started shifting my mindset on that. But I prayed one night. I was like full on. I give up. I throw in the towel. I was crying, but not like, oh, boo-hoo, what the fuck. I was like, I don't even give a shit. Just give me enough energy to take care of my daughter and make sure she has a great life. And I don't really give a shit about anything else. Fine. If I'm not supposed to be with anyone, then that's my purpose in this life. It was days later that Corey came into my life. And we had briefly touched on the drama of initially meeting, but that stuff doesn't really matter. We came together, and I was having thyroid issues because I was so stressed out. And when your thyroid is shut off, your energy is nothing. So I'd fall asleep at 10 in the morning, and I was homeschooling Scarlett. So we'd be sitting there and I'm teaching her and I'm falling asleep, and oh my gosh, everything was so hard. I was about to lose my house because I wasn't working, and I was struggling, mostly emotionally. And I forgot we had talked about this. I was served while I was at the bar.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
served by her biological to have her taken from me and sent to him for periods of time. And so, like, everything that could happen, I was like, this is not how my life is supposed to be. What the heck? And I always look within because we are the creators of our existence. And I thought, you know what? Maybe my mom is right. Like, we're supposed to share this life with someone and not just do the walk by ourselves, because it's hard. And if you meet the right person, the walk is not always easy, but it's supported, and it's fun when the fun times are more fun. And so I was 35. What did we say?
I think
35.
35. I think.
And we went on our first date. We went to lunch.
Yeah.
Oh, so first he had asked me. It was really cute. He said something about wooing a woman, and I was like, who the fuck says I want to woo a woman? And he was like, I do. And then he
This
gave me
guy.
this whole rundown of where he got it from. I still have that in my Instagram
Really?
messages somewhere. I should find
Yeah.
it. It was really cute, and I was like, this guy.
Oh, it was God, it's the quote from
that
the movie with Robin Williams, Dead Poets Society.
Yeah. Do you remember the quote?
I don't.
We'll have to figure it out.
Yeah. I think by saying it, I think people pull it up.
or maybe when you post this, you could pull it up and then put the quote. How do they do that? Down below.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
See, right where my finger
Yeah,
goes.
right there.
Anyways, and I was like, he's so cute. And he had a fight, and he won. He kicked ass, but he had hurt his neck in the fight.
Hurt my head.
I know.
Hurt my head.
Happens a lot. Anywho, so I was just seeing how he was doing, and then we talked pretty much all night. And the next
Like
day,
a week.
yeah, we were talking, and it was just like law of attraction stuff. And
Yeah, I wasn't even talking about like hooking up. It
was just cool life stuff. And like what's your thing? You say
VPE, visualize, prepare, execute.
Yeah. So I was asking him like how he manifested things, how he did things, and visualize, prepare, execute was his thing that he made for himself to focus on his fights and life and get out of his shit situations. And I like jumped out of the car, and it was like a card that said faith on. Remember that? I sent you a picture of a card.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what it was, but it was really fitting with
Then
the whole...
you saw a card outside of a store,
too. Outside of Sprouts. Yeah. No, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It was on the ground, and it was like a little angel card or something, and it said faith or belief. It was really cute. Anywho, so we were just bonding in a very short time over just positive similarities.
Yeah.
No matter, what our life current moments were. And he'll talk about his in a sec. It was not funny though.
It was great.
It was a great fun time. So I guess you can go on.
So about that same time, I have a buddy who, I don't know if I call him a buddy anymore. He owes me some money. You know who you are.
Oh my God.
I'd come back from fishing, and I was in 2 terrible relationships. One was a marriage that was just toxic, and another was a custody battle for my daughter.
But both of them were marriages. You married them both.
I did. But I'm saying,
because he's a good guy.
But at that one point in time, I was dealing with 2 separate issues that were just extremely overwhelming. I was in the middle of a custody battle, actually a 12-year custody battle with the ex, and at the same time a 12-year terrible relationship with my soon-to-be ex. And it was, I went fishing, and God, it was 3 months of just solitude in fucking Alaska. There's nothing up there. It's a town with like 50 people, and during fishy season, it turned into a town of like 2,000 people.
Did you say fishy?
Yeah.
Fishy season?
It's fishy season. So, so you got a lot of time to think. And the guy I was up there with actually was having relationship issues too, and him and his wife were going through some stuff, so we were kind of talking back and forth. And it was good to have, even though he, his dad ripped me off, it was good to have that, he's kind of going through the same thing, so he kind of understood what I was going through. So, but I had to come back early to go to court for my custody battle, and I actually won finally after 12 years of just being honest and pointing out that, hey, that's not the way this is going. This is the way it's going. Finally, my daughter's grandparents stepped in and were like, yes, this is actually how it's going. It's not going the way she's saying. It's going the way he's saying. And then I was awarded full custody. And then shortly after that, she had, overdosed on drugs, which for 12 years I was saying that she was on, and no one wanted to listen. So in the same breath, I'm living with my soon-to-be ex, and we're just oil and water, gasoline, and a match, all the fucking descriptions of what not to do, put 2 things together. That's what we were. I mean, very, very valuable lesson in life. Not worth the 12 years, but a lesson all in the same.
All the same.
Yeah.
So on that, I forgot we had met a year ago.
We had met a year
and
earlier.
And you told Jake to keep me single because he
I'd made a joke.
Shit to.
I mean, I guess it wasn't really a joke. I guess it was, well, we were drinking when I had said it. So, you know what they say, a drunk man's words or sober man's thoughts. I'd made the joke. I was like, is Samantha single? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, make sure she stays single.
I'm gonna clean up my life.
I'm going to fix some stuff. I'm coming back. I'll marry that girl. But anyway, I did. And
I for some reason around that time, I think Melanie told me that you thought I was cute or whatever. And I was like, ew.
oh yeah,
he's
because you thought I was a short guy.
He's short.
Yeah,
but
we've all established that you thought I was short.
I also was like, but isn't he married to that chick? And I was like, no, I don't want that kind of drama in my life because I had ex drama. Side note, funny story. My ex, the like gloriously hugest dumpster fire ex ever, his ex wrote cunt on the back of my truck one night. So I woke up and my really sweet neighbor was like, I think somebody visited your house last night. And I was like, what? And I came out and it says, honk if I'm a
Nice.
on the back of my
You
truck.
didn't ever tell me about that.
Oh,
Maybe
well,
you did.
it's not
I
like
forgot.
I go through all
But
the fun
anyway.
stuff of that time.
I mean, but you know, my ex did come and throw rocks at my truck. So
Oh yeah, see,
at your same house in the same
yeah.
lovely little neighborhood.
yeah.
But after I'd won full custody, I told my, at the time, wife, I was like, hey, let's move. Let's fucking not run away from our problems. Let's just put them here, bury them, and let's fucking move on. And she was like, okay. I was like, all right, I'm for real this time. Like, I'm over being young and dumb. I just want to be a fucking family. I want to have my daughter. I want to do the things. I want to build my career because I just got a job at, it wasn't like the greatest job, but it was the second job in my marketing career that I felt was going to go somewhere. It ended up taking me to Tao, but I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm going to build my career. I'm going to, be a director of marketing somewhere, and we're fucking done. And she's like, all right, let's go. And like, but we moved in August, and by late September, it was like the same shit. She was a stripper, which why I stayed after I found out she was a stripper, I don't know. I'm not sure. That's just my fault. But it was supposed to be, temporary, like just to get us back on our feet. Now that was part of the deal too, is like, hey, I'm gonna get this job. It's a good paying job, good starting salary, and there's nothing but room to move up. This guy wants me to take over his company, so it's already in the works for in 5 years. I'm gonna be making 6 figures. You don't need to do that anymore. It's like, all right, understood. And then it was like, she just dove in, and just, late nights, early mornings, reeking of just whatever you think a stripper smells like. That's what she smelled like. Like, just wasted all the time on all the drugs. Like, fuck, man. Like, I'm trying to put shit together, and like, you're just being a complete dumpster fire. You're being how you said that I was being, but you're like taking it to the fucking max. Like, because I was not the greatest. Like, coming out of the military, I had a lot of PTSD issues, and I was like drinking. But I was like, I realized, like, hey, I have a problem. Let me stop. Let me figure some shit out. And I put my fucking life together, put myself through school, and I came out. And
Got your degree.
Got my degree, got a good job. I was like, fucking let's do this. Let's rock this. I'm ready. And she didn't want to play. So all of October.
And really quick, on the same note, like while he was putting himself through school and trying to do things the right way.
I was working 3 jobs when I put myself through school. I was going to school 3 nights a week and working 3 different jobs and dealing with my custody battle and dealing with the ex-wife. Both of them. Well, one I was still married to. But like...
But at that same time, we're on different, like, worlds, basically. We're both in Vegas, but we're doing the same thing. We're just, struggling and doing our best.
Settling is what we were doing. I mean, at least for me, I was like, I don't feel like... Yeah,
Settling for less or settling down? What do you mean?
Settling for less.
Oh.
Because I wanted,
because you were always.
I was doing both. I was like, I was trying to get after it, but at the same time, I was settling because there's a lot of things that I was settling for. Like, fuck.
I don't think you were settling. I think you could only focus and do
Right.
ultimate on
So
one thing at a time.
it wasn't so much
right?
that I was settling. It was I was kind of put in a situation where I couldn't deal with this. Like I couldn't deal with the custody thing the way that I wanted it to because my wife at the time was threatening to tell the ex and the judge that I was doing all these things that I wasn't doing. So I was stuck there. And it got to the point where it took that time for me to go away. That I'm fighting the court. I'm fighting from Alaska, like dealing with this. Like this is what's going on. And they're like, no. But the ex couldn't threaten, or my current couldn't threaten me with anything because I wasn't doing anything. You can't say that I'm out doing all these other things if I'm fucking in Alaska fishing with 30 other fucking boats. Like you can't say that I'm out being a dipshit. And she couldn't, and that's how I ended up winning. Is because like I was like, I'm fucking done. This is what needs to happen, and this is how it's going to happen. So all of October, she just disconnected. She was sleeping in the other room, pretending to party. Because at the end of September, I was like, look, dude, I thought we were going to start over, man. What the fuck? And she, gets this little fucking attitude, and I was like, oh, I'm done. You're done? You sure? Because this is the last time that either one of us is going to say we're done and not be done. And she's, I'm fucking done. Cool. Deuce. I'm done. And I didn't engage. I didn't play the game. I didn't chase after her. I didn't let her chase after me. She slept in the fucking next room and stayed up all night on the phone. I don't know if she was really on the phone, but if she wasn't really on the phone, she went through some great lengths to make me think that she was on the phone. And I was like, what the fuck ever, right? And I did my thing. And then I got to my fight. Right, I'm prepping for a world title fight for an amateur organization, and I'm fighting a guy that I lost to in my very, very first fight. So it was important to me to be mentally and physically ready. And I'm working full time. I'm working 9 to 5. I'm going to practice after work. I'm going in early so I can get off early to make class, to make this fight, doing all these things. And I just got this fucking thing in my ear, yelling at me all the fucking time.
Well, even at the fight.
At the fucking fight.
She was
like, shut the fuck up.
Doing your warm-up thing or whatever.
Like, just constantly oh, you're doing this, you're doing that. Like, no.
So let's
But anyway, let's get to the fight. And on the day of my fight, right, it's like you go out after, right? Win or lose, right? If you lose, you drink more. If you win, you drink more. It doesn't matter, right? You're going to have a good time. So I ended up winning, and she comes and tells me, hey, because it happened to be my daughter's birthday, but we were going to celebrate it the next day. And she's like, hey, all Bianca's friends are staying over. I was like, and she's going to strip. I'm like, okay. And she did that on purpose because she knew you were coming. Which at that time, we weren't even talking like that.
No, not at all.
And anyway, and then that night,
the only reason why I was there was because Melanie brought me.
Yeah, your friend.
Yeah.
Your friend who happened to be my friend's wife.
Yeah.
And it just worked out that way. It wasn't like we were setting each other up or any of that nonsense. It was, and then we didn't even start talking until the night of my fight.
Yeah.
Because then I was.
Well, that's
yeah.
The night
You Instagrammed me, and that's when we started talking.
Yeah, how are you or whatever. And because I walked up and I knew she was.
I was like, fuck
upset.
it. I was like, what's up? I gave you a big ass hug.
I wasn't even gonna say
bring it in for the real thing.
I came up and gave you a hug. I was like, oh, hi, you're cute, but whatever.
Yeah.
So
and then I just I put myself first, and I mean I should have done that a long time ago, but I didn't.
Yeah, and then. So we were talking, and then you asked me out to go to lunch.
Yeah,
it was very
to go to California Pizza Kitchen.
Yeah, very
Town Square.
I was like, okay, and yeah, I hadn't dated, and I wasn't a dater. I never was a dater, so I was like, oh, this is awkward. I don't want to go on a date. Dates are stupid. I hated dates. I went on like 3 dates in my whole life.
It was like Wednesday or something.
It was middle of the week, middle of the day, and I was like, and yeah, it was just I was caught off
like,
guard.
what are you doing? You're like, nothing. I just got done with the gym.
Yeah.
Like, you want to eat some pizza? You're like,
Yeah, that was probably my full-on response for real. Sure. I don't know. And then we did. And
Yeah. And I got a fucking sweet side hug and
I'm not a hugger either.
a sweet side hug. Like, yeah, thanks for the pizza, bud.
That's not true.
Oh, that's exactly what it was.
It was. And then you gave me your number and you were like, call me or text me. And I was like, okay. And you were like, don't worry, it's done with her. And I was like,
Yeah, because I was like,
I'm not trying to get in that drama. And he's like, oh, it's done. And then he asked me to go to dinner that night.
yeah, we went to dinner. We went to Parkway Tavern.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we hung out all night.
Yeah.
And then you couldn't get rid of me.
No, we went to the gym in the morning.
Yeah, we went to the gym
and
in the
he
morning.
cuddled me. I was like, I am not having drunk sex with you. Just want you to know, I'm not going to do that.
Like,
and he was like, I just want to cuddle. I was like, do you think I'm fucking stupid? And he was like, no, really, I just want to cuddle. And I was like, oh my God, this guy thinks I'm a fucking moron. He gets all snuggled up. He motherfucking wanted to cuddle. He just wanted to cuddle. He didn't even try. I was ready. I was like, got my dukes up. I was like, I am not. Nope. Waiting for him to try something. Nope. He just wanted to cuddle.
No.
So
I'm a cuddler.
Yeah, that was cute. And then we went to the gym in the morning.
Yeah.
And we were like, man, we like all the same shit.
Yeah.
We're awfully cute together. And then he moved in a week later.
Sure did.
Well, what's funny is because
after your friend counseled you, and you're like,
Maria.
Yeah,
well, because I was like, oh my God, I gotta get back to work. So, but I was done doing hair. I was so done. Like everything in me was done. So I would dread the thought of going back to that. And I had done so much. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So, I was looking at some options and he was like, well, I can move in and I can pay your rent. And I was like, no, you need to date me and I need to get to know you for at least a year. And I was like, so I'm talking to Maria, I'm at lunch and I told him no. I was like, no,
she literally told me all those things. She's like, no, you need to date me for like a year. I need to get to know you.
Like, oh, I don't know if you're a crazy person.
And I was like, I'm like you, but a dude. So
Maria, I was telling her, I was like, yeah, and this guy wants to move in, and she was all, why don't you let him? And I was like, what the fuck, Maria?
I didn't even want to like move into your bedroom. I was like, I'll rent the other room.
I know, but I was, and she goes, don't you need some help right now? Like, Samantha, you don't always have to take care of everything. And I was like, you mean let someone else help me? Let a guy help me? She was like, yeah, dummy. I was like, oh. I mean, I guess I could kick him out if it doesn't work out. She's like, yeah, or you could leave. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. This is weird. So I texted him and I was like, so you want to move in? And he was, or no, I told you to come over to Maria's salon.
Salon. She's like, so yeah, you can move in. I was like, all right, like now or like later? She's like, now.
I think you came that night.
Yeah. I did. Well, the reason I had asked him to rent one of your rooms is because I told the ex, I was like, hey, this is before like we got serious. Like this. Yeah,
you told me that you were moving out and you were getting an apartment.
Yeah.
So if you were going to go move or you were going to get your own house. So if you were going to go, because I had a huge house, I had rented this house. I swear it was like an innate feeling that knew, and I used to tell people like, I'm gonna have my family here, and it was just me and Scarlett in a 4-bedroom big old huge house and a corner lot with a huge yard.
Yeah, it was a nice house.
It was a family house for sure, and it was just me and Scarlett. And I was like, I got room for my family to come here, and this is why I rented such a big house. And so here comes, it's that saying, you ask, you're in the middle of the lake and you ask God for help, and he sends a guy comes by on a boat and he says, hey, you need some help? And no, it's okay, I'm waiting for God. And then he comes by a ship and the ship says, hey, looks like you're sinking, would you like some help? No, I'm waiting for God. And a helicopter, nah, I'm waiting for God. And then you drown and you die and go up there and you're like, hey, God, what the fuck? And he's like, I sent you all kinds of help, but you didn't take it. And that's kind of the story I got when Corey was standing here like, hey, I can come to your house, in your huge house where you have extra bedrooms, and pay your rent and take care of you. And I was like, no, I'm waiting for God.
It's like, and we could like live together, but we don't have to live in the same space, but we can get to know each other.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what ended up what happened. I mean,
And then we went to the gym together every morning.
Yeah.
And we didn't have much money. Your job was great, but it wasn't for
No, it went from supporting, well, yeah.
Well, we don't have to tangent on that, but it did
what it needed to do.
It did what it needed to do. But we were by no means wealthy or anything, but fuck, we had fun. We had so much fun.
We had a lot of fun.
We went to the gym all the time together. We would go hiking all the time with the kids and the dogs. And we painted the house together. Yeah. Oh my gosh, we had so much fun doing, and it was so nice for me. I finally had somebody there to help me do stuff. I didn't paint. I didn't decorate my house. I was so worn out.
No, it was like in a mental asylum. Like,
it's just all white walls.
No pictures on the walls. Everything so plain. But I mean, it was like that for like a year after I moved in.
Yeah. Well, I had like a fear. This was my issue. I had this like fear of settling down, and then everything would like blow up. So I kept it like as clean and white wall as possible. So if I needed
definitely
to move
wasn't
out,
as flamboyant as putting flamingos on the wall.
This is our house. We could put holes up in here and not care. But yeah, oh my God, I had so much stress about that house, and if I settled in too much, and then I had to leave. Oh gosh, it was wild. So then where are we at? 32. So yeah, God, we had the funnest time, and we immediately talked about having another kid because I had seen in my picture myself having a boy long before Corey. Before I had Scarlett, I always saw myself having a girl, and then when the girl was much older, having a son. And so when Corey and I were talking, I was like, yeah, I'm for sure. I want a son. Like that's.
Well, that was that first night that we went to the Parkway.
Yeah, we full on told people we were married and had kids.
Yeah, everyone was like, it was crazy. It was fun. But no, we took our luggage and our baggage, and we unpacked it, and we were like, here's my shit. You already know the crazy ex. I also have another crazy ex who is the mother of my child, but she's not here anymore, so I don't have to deal with that. Really, all we have to deal with this. And I want to do this in life, and I want to do that in life, and I want to have a family and have kids and own a home. And
he was the first relationship that I had that he was bluntly honest, almost like not to a fault. There's no such thing in my mind that you can't be honest to a fault, but like his ex would call and argue with him, and he'd put her on speakerphone. He hid nothing. She would send him emails. Remember some of the questionable emails, photos that shouldn't be mentioned. And he was like, and he'd like hold up his phone. I'm like, oh God, oh God. But it was like full disclosure. No. Oh,
it's one of my firefighters.
Okay. Nothing to hide. Just here it is. So anytime she emailed him, she called him, anything, you could put that on mute or silent.
I could.
Yeah. Everything, man. He didn't hide. She would accuse him of shit. She wrote me in a fake email accusing him.
I was going over there.
Oh my gosh, of doing all kinds of stuff. And I was just like, oh my goodness.
It's like timestamp, bitch. I know exactly where I was when you said that.
Yeah.
I was laying next to her.
Yeah. Yeah, liar. She was trying. At one point, he needed a car title or something, and he goes to meet her in a parking lot to get the title, just up the street from her house. And she goes, "Oh, it's at my house. Come and get it." And he was like, "Oh, hell no."
Yeah, I was trying to get this motorcycle title from her for like 2 weeks, and first of all, I didn't know she lived where she lived.
Down the street from us, all of a sudden.
So she knew where I lived. I had no idea where she lived. And she goes, "Hey, do you know the Sprouts on Sahara?" I was like, what do you mean? And she goes, I live in the apartment complex across the street. And I was like, no, the fuck you don't. She's like, do you know where it is? I was like, bitch, are you fucking joking right now? I was like, you know where I live. You know I know where that Sprouts is. I was like, I know you fucking creep on my social media. You know, you see me take a picture in front of there. I know you know that. I know that.
I know you know. I know.
And then we get there, and
know.
she's like, oh, I don't have it. It's in my apartment. It's like, why the fuck am I here then?
Yeah. So he comes home like 30 seconds later. I'm like, what are you doing so quick? Did you get it? He was like, no. I was like, oh God, she did that. She tried to lure you into her apartment and accidentally get naked. So there were a few of those. That wasn't the only one, but
yeah, no, the time that when I had her finally signing the divorce papers,
yeah,
I had to meet her, and she's like, I did some research on Samantha, and I know all about her, and she does this with this person, and all these bartenders know her, and blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, because she was a bartender. Bro, I know all the people she knows because we all know the same people. It's just so happened we didn't run into each other. And all the people that I've met,
I forgot about that. She was
like, oh my God, she's a whore. I was like, but if she is, she's less of a whore than you.
Not, though, a whore at all, because I had one boyfriend in 5 years, and that was it. Actually, in 10 years.
Even if you were, I could be
a whore if I wanna.
You were less of a whore than her.
Yeah.
But you weren't, so.
But I wasn't.
It worked out for me.
But it did work out for you. I was waiting for you.
But
I was
with all that nonsense aside, I mean, I guess the point is everyone has their own story. And I think the problem with relationships, especially in today, is it's like the second episode of You where they go to the fucking therapist.
You, the show.
On Netflix.
Not episode of Me.
It's terrible now because they're getting into this whole fucking propaganda thing. But anyway,
stupid.
They go and the therapist tells them there is no we. When you say we, that's a strong codependency.
Yeah.
And even like when we first got together, we were like, I'm going to do me, you're going to do you, and then we'll be us.
Yeah.
And we're like, that sounds like a great plan.
Yeah.
Because in all my relationships before, it was always us, just us. And especially my last one. Like anytime I wanted to do me, I wanted to be a fighter. For 6 years, that's all that I did. I fought. And I mean, I got all the accusations. I worked at the gym for 3 years.
Let's not go off on that for too long.
But it's about you, me, and us.
I know, but I don't want to talk about the dramas.
Oh, all right.
we got like how long are we supposed to talk?
An hour.
Okay, so
just so I could fit it into Instagram. Instagram is a cunt and won't let you go over an hour.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's best to keep it
short and sweet condensed. To the point.
Yeah.
All right. More to come. Drama.
No, we're not going to do drama.
No,
you can do your own episode.
No,
drama.
It's not just. It's not drama. It's like it's lengths people will go to keep you in a space that you don't want to be in. It's not just about relationships.
I want people more. I'm just not the detail oriented on that. I want people to see we both had it like such a fucking shit situation.
Yes.
You had a shit situation. Right. I had a shit situation, and we both felt like, oh my God, is this my fucking end game? And even though you were going to leave her, you felt like you were going to be alone, a single dad, and still what? Where did you there wasn't a light, a foreseeable light at the end of the tunnel. There was just
there was. I think that's what
being away from her. I
think that's what the driver was, is one point, you got to stop settling, and you have to realize there is, even if it's only a little bit better, there's something better, and I shouldn't settle for this. And
surrender. And that's what I did. It was about
you can't be afraid to take the leap of faith. I mean, how many leaps of faith have we taken?
Oh, I fucking love leaps.
Fuck, bro. Like,
I'm a jumper.
Yeah, you are. No parachute.
Let's go.
Fuck, let's go.
But it always works out.
It does. It does, because I grab you and I put your parachute on, and then I pull the cord, and then
it works a lot more smoothly with you in the picture for sure. I think I'm free falling, and you're back there like, oh God, get this fucking thing on her. Give me your arm. And I'm like, yes, honey, let's go, whatever.
But no, it's great. And I love where we're at, and I love the growth and the development that we've had together. And I love really that we've forced each other to grow. Because, I mean, I was very, I mean, baby steps with me opening up and
there's been moments where I've been like, I don't want to leave you, but I am rising in my frequency and my energy, and you're either coming with me or you're not. And
yeah, and then at that point you can't take it personal, because if somebody wants to grow and do better with themselves, you can't be a crybaby. You either got to step the fuck up or step out of the way.
Yeah.
And
step up or step out.
Step up or step out. And if somebody wants to do something great with their life, you should either support that by doing it with them, or you should support that by getting the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
And there was times where I wanted to get out of the way, and I'm sure there was times where you wanted to get out of the way, but it was, I mean, both of us are very competitive people, so we're like, why the fuck would I do that? Like, I'm going to be better. I'm going to be better. Right? And then overall it helps with, I mean, our relationship now is better than it's ever been, because we constantly push each other, and we're growing together, and we're growing individually. I mean, you have your stuff, I have my stuff, but we have our stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. We have our like Corey can go fight fires and do his thing and change his thing every other day. And I can do the horse stuff. And when he's gone, he goes to the firehouse for a couple of days and does that stuff out there. And Scarlett and I do the horse stuff and love on Bodie all the time. And then he comes back and we go ride side by sides and we ride horses together. Corey's learning how to ride, which is pretty fucking cool. But you know, God, we didn't get here. We didn't get here knowing this is where we would get to. We were not together, and I surrendered. I just was like, I give it up. I'm not going to fight or force or struggle or whine or complain. I just was done. I was like, I'm done. I'm going to be the best mom I can be, and I'll be a great person to those that come into my life, and that's it. That was my very minimum. And then there was another time in our relationship, I asked Corey, I said, if you could manifest anything, I think it was when I was pregnant and we didn't have much money and we were super struggling. I'm trying to remember the routine of things or whatever. But I said, what would you want? And you said, I don't know, like a few $1 million and whatever, so we could do what we want to do with it. And we're not about money, to be honest. Side note on that, it's about the freedom that and traveling and experiences and memories that
it wasn't even
I don't
about
give a shit.
millions of dollars.
No.
I think I said I wanted financial freedom, so we could do whatever we want.
Yeah, it was more along those lines, and that's how we've always thought. We make sure that if as financial freedom and abundance, we don't look at money as a need. We have had nothing and we're beyond happy. We lived life and it's been great, but there's a challenge to creating an abundance of money that I love. I love a challenge, and that's where our mind is with that. And so he had said that, and I said, but we got to take it back even more. What we like, your foundation has to be so solid, or everything that you build will fall repeatedly until you build the most solid foundation. And what is really the best foundation? It's health. If you're not healthy, you have absolutely nothing, right?
And all the aspects, mental health, physical health, emotional health.
The triangle of health. You have to have that, or your pieces won't, this end will fall, that end will fall, period. So I was thinking in my mind for a couple of days at this time, like what really matters? What is the only thing that matters in this moment, in this time? And when I asked him that, he thought in a broad manner, and I said, why don't we bring it in and ask for peace of heart and a peaceful mind. If you have, no, I'm sorry, peaceful heart and a peace of mind. I always get that backwards. So if your heart is peaceful and you wake up in the morning, your mind is peaceful and everything is calm and it's serene, everything starts to fall into place.
For sure.
If your heart is not going, we get all amped up and we have all this anxiety and high blood pressure and all this shit, you cannot manifest quality with that frequency. It feels terrible. And then you start getting all kinds of other issues, right?
Yeah.
So you have peace of mind and a peaceful heart, and everything else will fall into place. And I swear that's all we focused on for a good amount of time.
Yeah, almost when we started writing in the Black Book.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a Black Book, and we just wrote dreams.
Yeah.
And sometimes we were like...
Some of those dreams started to come true, some of them were about jobs. Yeah, I mean,
what are you talking about?
I'm thinking about it. I just saw it because I just moved it, and I was looking at it, and I was like, "Oh man,
this is pretty cool."
Yeah.
And we loved the house that we lived in so much. I loved that house. I also felt very suffocated in it, and I felt very suffocated in Vegas because I didn't want to live in a city. But I felt like if I could create our own oasis back there, if we were meant to be in Vegas in that home, we could have made it work there. If any place in Vegas, we could have made it work.
And I think that's kind of where the transition happened in 2018, where we started doing that. We were like, fuck it. If we're going to be here, because we tried to talk to the lady about buying the house, and she wasn't interested in selling.
That's where I was going to with that.
But she didn't want us to leave. So it was like...
Right. And we put in an offer and she just wasn't interested. It was for the worth of the house.
Yeah.
She just wasn't interested in selling. But we would always write in the Black Book. So at that point, because we loved that home so flippin' much, and we had so many beautiful memories, best wedding ever, we really wanted to live there, but we also didn't know what was out there for us.
Yeah.
So we were thinking, if we're meant to buy this home, it will work out in our favor. This or something better.
Something better.
We always say this or something better because our human mind can only think so far and think so broadly, but it's limitless. Like the abundance that's out there for every single one of us. It's an ocean's worth of abundance, but we go with teaspoons and we're like, may I have this, one little teaspoon of this water of abundance? Why aren't we taking buckets?
Bucketfuls.
And why aren't we going and taking, why don't we get our truck and put a pool on the back of our truck and go get that amount of abundance and take it from the ocean and then bring it home and create and share. And it's not just sharing your financial abundance. What can you create with the health, the abundance of health, mentally, emotionally, physically, and then, creating a ranch and this, oh my gosh, what it's opening up to now in our campground. And
even still after talking with Robin, I mean, there's still so much potential in here and the campground.
It's like we're barely scratching the surface. Yeah. And so it's like, okay, this or something better. And the other driving force is helping people.
Yeah.
We don't really know what we're doing right now with the podcast. It's not like we have an outline and we're like, let's, figure out what the fuck we're doing. We're like, talk. Yeah. And, it doesn't really matter how or who it's relaying to at the moment, as long as our intention is out there that will help one person and maybe it will become more and more. Yeah. And then our personal dreams and goals start to get bigger and bigger. And then we're helping more people in a broader way because we're doing also what we love.
Yeah.
We like doing this and connecting with each other. I'm not much of a camera person. I'm none of this.
None of this at all. You are very, very introverted.
And very super, like if we had to be somewhere, I would not do this, but we're in my house. I got my socks on. Dirty from the floor. So anyways, I can be here and be happy and comfortable. And but he is this, and he loves to do this, and he loves the camera, and he loves people, and he's good with them, and he's a great coach, and I'm not. So,
you are all those good things. And
in a different way.
Yeah, in a different way.
Because you
coach people.
Well, I guess
you coach people all day long. You're on the phone coaching to people.
Yeah.
But it's because there's that barrier.
Yeah. And I
that's
can
when
be
you're.
in my, I
that's
can be
when
on
you're
my
the
horse.
most effective. Is when there's a barrier. There's kind of the barrier between here. So like, if I could get you to talk like how we do, like there's so much information in what you said, and there's so much weight in what you say. But it just has to be pulled out of you if it's in a public kind of... I mean, this isn't really a public forum. I mean, we put this in a public forum.
But it took you like years to get me to do this.
Did.
At one point, he was going to do it with his brother. I was like, sweet, I don't have to do it then. But I do like... I like talking with him. We drive in the car, and when I'm actually always trying to
drive in the car, and we have these great conversations, and you're like, we need a camera in the car. I'm like...
Because the shit we say is funny, but sometimes it's way too inappropriate too.
It's always inappropriate.
I think we'd get canceled.
Cancel culture for sure.
Yeah, we would, but that's okay. Yeah. So, anywho.
But, I mean, it's great though. You have a lot of good information in that beautiful brain of yours, so.
Thanks, honey.
We'll share it with the world.
Yeah, that's the intention, right?
Yeah. You good?
Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. 51 minutes.
So I'm going to steal this from Andy Frisella. If you like it, share it, pay the fee, share it, comment, do all the things. He says it in all his podcasts.
You said last time, it's something. Oh, yeah, you said don't be an echo. Don't be an echo. Make your own shit up.
No, I said don't be an echo chamber, which is when you surround yourself with people only saying the same thing.
Oh, okay.
That's an echo chamber.
I just was okay.
I say that. I just don't say that. But now I'm going to steal what he says.
Well, you can make your own.
Pay the fucking fee. Pass it forward.
Okay. You can make your own up.
I just did. Pass it forward.
Oh, he doesn't say that?
Pay it forward.
Pay it forward. Does he say that?
No, he says pay the fee. I'm saying pay it forward.
Oh, I like that. Because I really I like that.
Pay it forward.
That's good. Because that's what... We're here to.
We are here. That's what we do. We pay it forward.
Right, and the fucked up struggles. Like, I don't know how it's gonna unfold. I hope gracefully the stories can unfold, because I don't want to throw some people under the bus and just bash them. But I want to tell stories because I want women. I was abused. It was not quality relationships, but I wouldn't take it back, and I don't feel sad, or I healed from it and I learned from it, and I wouldn't trade any of it for the world. And why else would I go through those experiences unless I'm supposed to help people with it from it?
We're gonna pay it forward.
So yeah, I like that. We're gonna pay it forward and turn your trauma into your triumph.
Oh, love it.
Yeah. Maybe that'll be the next one.
I love it.
The next episode.
I like it. We could actually talk about that. That'll be our next one. We'll do that.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Okay. Well, pay it forward, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. Oh, wait. Peace out.
Oh, that's Bodie's.
A-Town Dad.